Hi, Dr. Dave Webster. Another video. This is on the stance of the political parties page, the Liberal parties, and I gave an overview of a video to summary of issues with Mr. Mcguinty. I'm now going to bore down into some of the specific issues and challenge Mr. Mcguinty, who's the leader of the Liberal Party and Premier of this province, and also Ms. Matthews, who's the current Minister of Health. This issue is about their use of evidence-based medicine to make decisions about critical aspects of healthcare in this province. In particular, this has been used like a blunt, weapon when it comes to PET scanning. They've used this the evidence-based medicine tool to give the most restricted access to PET in the world, as I've noted. And the evidence-based medicine analysis and what this is run is through McMaster University Evidence-Based Medicine Group, and they have a very close connection with the government to help them make these decisions about what's most appropriate for us. So this is to you, Mr. Mcguinty, and Ms. Matthews, who's gone on record as saying how proud she is of how PET has been handled in Ontario. The evidence-based medicine tool, and in particular the health technology assessment tool, there is no scientific validity for the use of this tool. Certainly not to the degree that you'd expect to make the kind of extraordinary decisions that you've made taking Ontario cancer patients to the last in the world. I myself have tried repeatedly to challenge your various experts to show me the evidence that evidence-based medicine actually is a valid tool to look at any diagnostic imaging device, whether it's PET or CT or MR or whatever. Never got a response back from anybody. The closest I came was with Cancer Care Ontario. Dr. Julian Dobranowski is now head of Cancer Care Ontario section. We'll be looking at roles of PET, and I asked him directly after he gave a little talk, and I said, is there any evidence to support the use of this tool? And he basically said no. He won't admit that publicly. There's a letter addressed to Cancer Care Ontario specifically. People might want to take a look at that. But the bottom line is that there is no evidence. And in fact, in December 2005, in the Journal of Nuclear Medicine, a very prestigious, internationally read journal, specifically there was an editorial by Dr. Sandy McEwen who goes and specifically points out Ontario's use of this health technology assessment tool, which he says lacks scientific rigor. It's just a polite way of saying it's scientifically baseless. And then he comments on Ontario, the Liberal government's effectively, capricious use of this tool to simply block access of patients to modern diagnostic imaging. So that is the case, and what is clear is that the government continues to use evidence-based medicine. You go on their website about PET scanning, you talk to Cancer Care Ontario, they are going to use evidence-based medicine. So my challenge to you, Mr. Mcguinty and Ms. Matthews, is given that there is no scientific validity to use evidence-based medicine, to make decisions about, for example, PET scanning. You use it for other things too, don't you? But specifically with respect to PET scanning, there is no scientific validity to use that research-based tool to decide what's the most appropriate uses of PET. And in fact, using that evidence-based medicine tool, as I've said elsewhere, your experts have come up with recommendations for PET that are the exact opposite of what the true world experts are teaching the rest of the world and using for PET. But that's what they've used. So I want you now to publicly defend. I want you to look to cancer. It's an election issue. I'm tired of seeing politicians, kissing babies and shaking hands and smiling and blah, 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 and we're all sick of that. But what I want you to do now, Mr. Mcguinty and Ms. Matthews, I want you to look into a camera, and I want you to pretend you're looking into the eyes of a cancer patient like I do, and I want you to explain to them why the Liberal government supports the use of a scientifically baseless research data analysis tool to determine what kind of healthcare we have in Ontario. So people watching this video, again, please do not let up on them until they answer this, until the local politicians that are running in your ridings in the upcoming election make healthcare a priority issue during this election. It needs to be. Lots of other issues, as I've said before, but get sick and see what becomes a real issue for you. But in particular, this government has done an extraordinary thing. They have taken Ontario cancer patients to the absolute last place position on the planet. So if we want to have a change in that, if we want to bring about change, we've got to use the power of the internet and social media. Forget the press. I mean, they know about this, as I've said elsewhere on my website. They won't touch it. That's not their job. Their job is to create the illusion that the government is doing the right thing. So please pass this on, and I know Mr. Mcguinty and Ms. Matthews won't respond to me personally, but enough of us respond through my petitions and through emails and contacts and whatever way you can do it. Make sure they explain to your satisfaction why they've done this to you. Thank you.